Hello students and grown-ups. Today we are going to practice drawing portraits. We're going to just practice today. Portraits can be very challenging for students, and practice is how we improve. So today is a practice day, and you'll only need simple materials. And if you have a mirror, that would be great too, because when you're drawing a portrait, looking and observing the details of your face are a great way to get your drawing just right and to make it look more realistic. For today's activity, I'll need paper, any kind of paper, pencil. If you have a big eraser, that might come in handy, but it's not necessary. And also, if you have a mirror will be great too. And another tool is using your device, looking at yourself on the camera on your learning device. That will work too. The first thing that you'll want to do for this activity is to either draw some lines to divide your paper into four, or to fold it into four like this, because we're going to try to do 4 practices, and that way your paper is ready to go. And so if you could see, there's like a fold line, or you can even just take your pencil or your marker or whatever and do that, just so that you have 4 little areas to design your composition. And we want to try, I know it's challenging sometimes for kids to draw big, but this is about practicing your face, so don't worry about anything else. Try to sketch some nice big ovals with just a little bit of neck and shoulder. And you can do that in each box. Now, sketching the head, neck, and shoulders, that's almost a challenge in itself, because to make them nice and big and fill the little boxes can be really hard work. So that's why it's good to practice, and definitely use light pencil lines, because you'll go back and erase some of this stuff later. And I'm using like really sketchy lines just to kind of, I don't know, sometimes I call them like a shaping line, just to get the idea. And I don't even worry about erasing at this point, because I'll figure it out later. And now this is something that might be new to you, and it's using guidelines. And many portrait artists start their portraits the same way, dividing the oval of the face into 4. And that is where you'll start. And then sometimes they put a little line where the nose is going to be and a little line where the mouth is going to be. But this main line is the best one for you to do. These main ones, this line and this line. You know, you want your face symmetrical, so you're going to put that line down the middle. And then, even though it might seem kind of strange, this is called the eye line. And it might seem like that's too much space, but you'll need room for the eyebrows and the hair, so it's really works out perfectly. Now, this is the eye line, and that's where you want to draw your eyes on. And you know, eyes can be tricky too, because to get 2 eyes exactly the same, that's challenging. But you can go back to the slides and look at the examples of eyes, and if you're having trouble on this practice page, you can even like practice drawing, you know, your eyes over here. And you know, don't forget the iris and the pupil. If you want to add eyelids, that's good. And everybody has eyelashes, so eyelashes are a nice detail. Eyebrows, you know, and you can practice on the side of your paper as much as you need to. So I'm gonna just put these eyes in and give a little bit of an eyelid, some lashes, and then for the eyebrows, I kind of just draw the shape of what the eye, even though the eyebrow is made out of lots of little hairs, I just draw in the shape. I think that's a good way to get started. But again, maybe try to draw some kind of tired eyes, so you have like an eyelid like this. nose, or, really shocked eyes. You practice as much as you need to for eyes. And the next thing I want you to think about is the ears, because depending on your hairstyle, your ears might not show, but it's a good idea to sketch them in just to be sure. And, some kids think, oh, why does my picture look a little bit strange? And a lot of times it's because you've drawn the ears too high. I've seen kids really put them up like this. That looks kind of like Princess Leia buns, so that's not good. This eye line, never draw your ears higher than the eye line. And I just kind of sketch in this little kind of a curved line, for my ears. And then that's all I'll do with ears. And if I need to go back and draw them in later, I can, or add earrings or whatever, but I just want to get them placed right away. Now, noses can be challenging, and I get that. I've had a lot of kids just draw like a little triangle for a nose, and when you're little, that's fine, but you're a third grader now, so no more jack-o'-lantern noses. We won't do that anymore. And there's lots of different ways to draw a nose, and maybe you have a way that works for you, and that's fine. But your nose, I usually just start by drawing the tip of the nose. Then I color in like 2 little circles for the nostrils, and then I add, did you ever hear of parentheses in reading? I add parentheses, and then I add at least 1 line for the bridge of the nose, that part that goes up, and then almost kind of connects into the eyebrows. Sometimes I'll do 2 depending, but that's a pretty good nose. And I always make the kids do the nostrils because I think it looks better with just 1. I think the nostrils are important, but just like every feature of your face, some people have really small nostrils, and some have flatter ones. And so you're gonna have to use your observation skills and draw what you see, because not everybody's nose is the same. The next thing that I would be drawing on my face, or at least planning, is the mouth. And I have a lot of kids that'll just draw like this kind of mouth, and that's nice, but it's not very realistic because we all have lips. So it's important to draw, you can start the line for, the type of mouth you're going to have, serious or smiling, but then you need to, add in the top lip and the bottom lip. And if you need to practice, some people don't want to draw lips because they think they all have to be these really smoochy lips, but you don't have to draw smoochy lips. There's all different ways to draw lips, and again, observation is going to help you decide what kind of lips look more like your lips when you're drawing your picture. And look at how I'm practicing in the spaces. Do lots of practicing. That's the most important thing today. And then finally, I would start to think about the hair. And one thing that I like to do is add in a thing called a hairline. And this is just kind of gives me an idea of where the hair needs to cover. And it should go all the way down to the ears. And I notice that sometimes kids will just color in the hair with pencil, but I think it will look better if you just draw the shape of the hairstyle and whatever it is, and then just add in some lines to show the texture of the hair. So if I was to draw, and these portraits don't have to be of yourself today. We're gonna just practice drawing. You can practice drawing a made-up person or however. So I just kind of do the shape of the hair, and I can go back with my eraser and get rid of some of those things I don't need as I continue to work on it. That's looking pretty good. And now instead of just coloring it in pencil colored, which I don't think is a good idea, I would just kind of add some lines to show, if you have wavy hair, wavy lines, short short lines. You know, so that's much better than just coloring it with pencil for hair. And then, you know, finishing touches could be anything like, you know, adding in the color to show that's a shirt, if there's freckles, if there's glasses. I wear glasses, so I'm gonna make this person wear glasses. And I just kind of draw them over what I've already drawn. And then that works out really good. I mean, honestly today, I would say don't even worry about coloring in anything unless you really 100% want to. And then the reason why you start with the light lines is because eventually you want to go back and get rid of those guidelines that you had in there because you won't need them anymore. And I can go back and really add in all of these details. And guess what? You should try to do it in all of these boxes. And if you don't have time to do all 4, but I think you should have time to do at least 3, and really look at it and say, wow, how can I make those eyes better? What can I do with those noses to improve? And do I need to practice drawing mouths over here? Use this as practice, and your paper might not be beautiful today, but it will definitely be a good tool for you to learn. And email a picture to your teachers, and make sure you show your teachers. Everyone loves to see how hard you're working and how your drawing skills are developing. So this will be an exciting thing to share, and I hope you have fun doing it too. And there's just one last thing I wanted to say. Go back and look at those slides for ideas. There's a bazillion hairstyles, tons of different ways to draw noses. So, you know, you can try to draw, you know, the features that you already know you're good at, or you can try something new. It's always good to try, you know, something a little bit different when you're practicing your drawings, because it's a practice. We're not worried about it looking, you know, 100% perfect today, but it's a good time to take a risk, practice drawing a little bit, and using all of the ideas on those slides. And you can click back and forth, tons of hairstyles, everything in there. So I encourage you to use all of those tools for ideas, and if you can, look at yourself in your device camera or a mirror. That will be helpful too, especially if we're going to draw a picture of yourself. Okay, go for it.